Good afternoon and welcome to Kansas City for the 2015 WAC Volleyball Championships. Alongside Jill Hall, I'm TJ Jackson. Thanks for joining us on the WAC Digital Network. It's championship volleyball for you right now. And Jill, we look at this matchup today. Number 1, New Mexico State, and number 2, Bakersfield. It should be a great one.
Absolutely. And 1 year ago today, on Bakersfield home court, they were able to upend this New Mexico State team in 4 sets. That was the WAC semifinal last year. A different year, a different team. But if you're Bakersfield, I think you use that a little bit as ammunition, a little bit of energy. And then if you're New Mexico State, you're looking to run the table, as you have not dropped a match to a WAC opponent this year.
For the Roadrunners, they are led by Kelsey Sawyer. She was so dominant in their win yesterday.
Yes, she was great. The senior outside hitter had 17 kills. And even more impressive, I think, about that number is her hitting efficiency. En route to those 17 kills was 533, which is tremendous considering she is a pin player on the outside. A powerful arm, but can also mix it up with crafty shots. Sawyer will look to lead her team back to the NCAA tournament.
The Aggies, they are led by Gwen Murphy, the senior. She really overpowered the Roos yesterday.
Yeah, the middle blocker, she was as good as advertised. The WAC Player of the Year. Head coach Mike Jordan calls her a true All-American. Well, Coach, I completely agree with you on that assessment. Get ready to watch an elite athlete and volleyball player in Gwen Murphy.
Bakersfield in their 3rd straight championship match, looking to win back-to-back tournament titles. New Mexico State trying to finish the mission. Regular season title check, tournament title, we'll see. Find out who will take on the championship next on the WAC Digital Network.
We strive to achieve excellence through determination and hard work.
We are committed to learning from those around us.
Our professors and peers,
our coaches and teammates,
and our opponents.
We compete with integrity and passion.
And we seize our moment when the opportunity arises.
We take pride in our communities
and believe that we can inspire others,
just as they have inspired us.
We may wear different colors, but we share the same purpose.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are
the Western Athletic Conference.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that words really can hurt you?
Jesse, don't go!
Geico.
People talk about college like you're in some kind of bubble. Like there's college and then there's the real world. Hey, this is UVU. You're not just reading about it or watching someone else do it. This is engaged learning. At the certificate, associate's, bachelor's, or master's level, you're in the real world every day.
Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. No matter what.
Characters should never have an energy drink.
action.
Geico. Welcome back to Kansas City for the championship match of the 2015 WAC Volleyball Tournament. It's number 1, New Mexico State, and number 2, Bakersfield, meeting for the second consecutive year in the tournament. See the series history between these two. New Mexico State leads 6-1. The one win, however, for the Roadrunners coming in the semifinals last year, which allowed them to advance to the championship and move on and take the title.
Yeah, and interesting enough, a year ago today, on the same exact day. So I think that's, you know, an interesting little tidbit. I know it's a different year, a different team. New Mexico State has a lot of veterans on their team. They were suffering an injury, and they've been able to run the table in the WAC conference this year. But Bakersfield's going to give a really great great fight tonight, that's for sure.
There's a good shot of Giovanna Mello, the head coach for the Roadrunners in her second season, 29-29, as the head coach of the Roadrunners with that 2014 WAC tournament title under her belt. Looking to try and add to that resume as well with a win here today. New Mexico State, led by Mike Jordan in his 18th season. They picked up a win last night against UMKC in straight sets, 376 and 171 as the head coach of the Aggies.
And he has such a rich volleyball tradition at New Mexico State, has done wonderful things there, and I think another solid year as they do not have a bad loss on their entire resume in New Mexico State. So you got to think, even if they do not win here tonight, they might still get an at-large bid just because they're that strong of a team. But if you're Bakersfield, you're looking to get back to your second in a NCAA tournament in a row, which is very impressive considering you're in a second-year head coach in Giovanna Mello.
You look at the Aggies that come in 26-5 on the season. Their 5 losses against number 16 Arizona State, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma. Number 17 Arizona, and then second-ranked Texas at that time. And boy, those are some not bad losses at all.
No, and many of those went to 5 sets, so it was very impressive. They could have grabbed maybe 1 or 2 of those. I think this team's ranked in the top, even maybe 25. I think if you upend a couple of those. So this Aggie squad is very solid. And on the other hand, you have Bakersfield, who going to play with a lot of energy, enthusiasm. They're scrappy. They're fun to watch. Their pins are exceptional. And you know, really, we saw it last night where this team just, I mean, they brought the energy, not only in warm-ups, and it was so loud, but also throughout the entire match. And they're not going to give any free points over to New Mexico State.
Bakersfield comes in 13-14 on the year. They started the season 0-7. They go 10-4 in league play, though, and they come in as the 2 seed, and now in their 3rd consecutive championship match.
Yeah, and I know in non-conference, so they were battling some injuries, so it wasn't really indicative how this team was. I mean, they were suffering and had an injury to Martins there. You have a good look at her as a senior.
And we're underway for this championship match. Ainsworth sets it right side. The attack will come deep left corner, and it's just a bit long by Tawai. And it's 1-0 in favor of Bakersfield. We'll see Martins getting ready to serve here for the Roadrunners. The senior from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Ready to serve it away. A first team all WAC selection. Strikes it short, ranging is Sierra towards her left. They'll go the direction of Nash, drives it deep left corner. And it's a point for Bakersfield as it's just a bit long. And the line judge to the near side said it was in. The up official said no, it was wide. And Bakersfield an early 2-0 lead.
Yeah, they do work together. They call each other their line respectively, so it was wide.
Middle of the floor again. Ainsworth goes towards the middle. Murphy's there. Fleming able to dig it there. Returned by Martins with the right hand. Backing up Sierra. Set by Ainsworth. Murphy a second time. And it's out of play off the back row.
More than likely, if you're going to get Gwen Murray the ball twice in one rally, she's going to come up with a kill. The first time, it was an exceptional dig from Fleming right here just to get a hand on. But the second time, just too much power to handle.
Twice serving for the Aggies. Will slide a little bit towards her left now. Down by 1 early on in this opening set. Backpedaling Fleming towards the net. Martins, middle of the floor. Dunbar low, trying to roll it across. It was deflected. Here's Urias towards the deep left corner. Ainsworth goes to Murphy again. Dug by Martins. Fleming sets it left side. Here's Sawyer with a big right hand, and Sawyer gets the kill.
That was a wonderful side out from Bakersfield, just settling in, playing that one out, and then how do you end that rally? You go to your hot hand, the senior outside hitter, and Kelsey Sawyer just driving and hitting it deep in the floor.
Sawyer to serve here for the Roadrunners. Another senior for this Bakersfield team. Ainsworth gives chase, sets it left side. Deep left corner, Abalos long on the drive. A hitting there by the Aggies, and the Roadrunners with the start that they had hoped for. They lead by 3.
Yeah, and a couple unforced errors that we did not see at all last night. They played so cleanly, and the Aggies in Bakersfield, they'll take it. They'll take those balls. They're going to force them to make those errors. And in that one set that they were able to beat New Mexico State, I think New Mexico State had 8 errors. So already 3 quick ones in this match.
Abalos gets the kill. This one off the hand of Dunbar low. And the Aggies side out there down by 2.
A wonderful adjustment here by Obalos just to hit off the high hands. You could see she was driving.
Murphy getting ready to serve for the Aggies. Strikes it with the right hand. Fleming low. Martin's right side. The attack will come from Urias, and it's a block point. The combination over there of Obalos and Thomas for the first time come up with a big block.
And their block looked great last night in that victory over UMKC, especially on that right side pin.
Short to the right side. Martins leaves it left boundary. Grasso over the top. Murphy. Ainsworth left side of Obalos on the swing. Martins middle of the floor. Back to the left boundary. Grasso tries it a second time and missed it wide. Bakersfield wanted a touch, and it's going to be a hit in there against Bakersfield. A 3-0 run here by the Aggies after the Roadrunners held an early 4-1 advantage. Murphy towards the right side, giving chase as Martins. Goes to Grasso, drives it off the right hand of Nash and into the antenna. It's a kill for Bakersfield.
Grasso is just so fun to watch. I mean, she is a fireball out there at 5'6" on the outside pin, and she just can pound. Her arm speed is so fast when she attacks the ball.
Fleming down the right boundary, an overpass here by the Aggies. Martins goes to the right side, Urias deep middle, dug there, and it's another overpass, trying to put it away. Rolled across towards the right side. Fleming goes to Urias. Ball deflected at the net, good save by Nash. Obalos towards the middle, misfired into the net. A hit in there by the Aggies, and Bakersfield extends the lead to 2.
Well, they're putting some pressure on New Mexico State and Bakersfield. Exactly what we thought. I mean, they're scrappy. They're going to play every point extremely hard.
Fleming with the serve, set towards the right side. Nash drives it deep left corner. A touch against Bakersfield, and Nash records the kill.
Yeah, it was good to get Bradley Nash going. She had a couple errors early in that set, but she's going to rotate out. It was good for her to pick up that one.
Lavodi will come on and serve here for the Aggies, the junior out of Humboldt, Texas. Drives it, floats it near side. Martins gives chase, goes back to Grasso, fires it deep middle. Lavodi to the near side, Castellanos on the attack. It was deflected by Haynes. Left side of Obalos rolls it over. Martins, Grasso, right side, Urias finishes it off.
And I think what you're seeing, they're wanting Martins to take the first ball because she's your setter, but they're doing a nice job, Bakersfield, right now of secondary setting. That's the libero getting the ball to Urias on the right side. A high ball up where she can take a heavy swing.
Urias to serve here for the Roadrunners, leading by 2 in this opening set. Bodie goes middle of the floor, and it's Thomas with a big right hand, drives it over the shoulder of where DeMarco was, and a kill for Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas, I know unfortunately last year had that ACL injury, but coming back, it definitely did not take anything off her leaping ability, as she's a high riser, up quick in the middle on a quick attack.
Serve coming for the Aggies. Middle of the floor, DeMarco. That one kind of ate her up a little bit, and it's going to be an ace for the Aggies to pull them even at 7. First ace of the day for Obalos. Aggies have inched their way back even now towards the near side. Martins leaves it across the floor. Haynes deep middle. Obalos out of Sierra. Obalos short to the right side. Martins is there though. Fleming setting Grasso on the attack. It's off of Thomas's hand. Can Obalos save it? She does. Set by Martins. Left side, here comes Grasso, and she finishes it.
And Martins, she looks so shifty when she sets it. They totally thought they were going to go run a slide on that attack, but instead get it ball back to Grasso, one-on-one. I love watching the Bakersfield setter and Martins, a senior.
8-7, Roadrunners on top by 1. Grasso a short serve. Lavodi towards the left side, and the big put away down the far boundary, coming off of the hand of Tawai, and she comes up with a kill for New Mexico State.
Well, Tawai was one of those players last night that was just doing it all, and she exploits that seam. The block is not closed. She goes right through it.
Sierra serving, here for the Aggies. Set by Martin's left side. Here comes Sawyer with a big right hand. And it's an overpass, and Haynes drops it in.
Wonderful pass, Bakersfield in system. And if you're Kelsey Sawyer, you get a one-on-one attack, but then it was overpass. And that was Haynes just to clear that one. A little snap right over in front of the 10-foot line.
Haynes with a float to the near side. Another almost overpass. And it's going to be 4 touches here against New Mexico State. We saw the Aggies pull back even a couple of moments ago, but now it's a 3-1 run here by Bakersfield. Back and forth we've gone here in the opening set. Sierra over to Livoni. Tawai, deep middle, and she drives it off the hand and gets the kill for New Mexico State. Ainsworth rotates back to serve. Here for the Aggies, Livoni slides out. Ainsworth just a freshman for this Aggie squad. Ball to the right side, Martins comes back to Sawyer, angles it deep right corner, Sierra there, trying to dig it, and a whistle going against Bakersfield. A reach over there by Dunbar Low.
And since the Aggies run a 6-2 system, you have to allow that setter in Ainsworth to set that ball. Nice job for her to go up high. And then Dunbar Low just pushing over, not allowing her that space.
Ainsworth fires it right side. Rodriguez backpedals. They go over towards Dunbar Low. Tries to bring in middle. An overpass by the Aggies, and Martins is there. She's got a little fire to her.
Yeah, she's just fun to watch. I mean, she is absolutely the quarterback of this team. Does so much, and just her court sense and awareness. That's not her position on the front row. She's a right front, but just scaling and working the net. We saw it from her in this tournament a couple times.
They'll rotate back to serve for Bakersfield, leading by 1 here in this opening set. Set by Ainsworth. Murphy on a drive. Good dig by Grasso and good chase, but it's out of play after Arias wasn't able to play it over the press row across the way.
Bakersfield's hoping they can just ship that a little bit further. I mean, they just ran out of real estate. They were going to get a hand on that, hoping that they had a little bit more room on the sideline.
Tied at 11 here in the opening set. Tawai serving here for New Mexico State. Turn to the right side. Martin's back towards the left. Here comes Urias, and it's struck by Murphy, and it's a block point for the Aggies.
And Murphy welcome back to her team, saying, let's push, let's push. She's on that front row. She's leading that blocking core in that middle blocking position.
12-11, New Mexico State leads. This one fired just a bit long down the middle of the floor, and it's a service error to bring us even at 12. Sawyer rotates back to serve here for the Roadrunners. All equal here in this championship match. Sawyer towards the right side, set by Ainsworth, middle of the floor. Murphy goes high. Sawyer got a hand on it. Urias back to Dunbar Low, backpedaling. Tawai set by Ainsworth from the right side, Nash, and she pounds it away.
And Nash, when she came in as a freshman, was an outside hitter. They moved her to the right side. She's done such a wonderful job. And look at her drive to this ball. Now in her senior campaign, having a wonderful year.
Murphy to serve here for the Aggies, leading by 1. Strikes it, backing up Flimian. They go back to Dunbar Low to the near side. Ainsworth sets it over to Thomas. It's off the double block, and Thomas answers with another kill, and the Aggies have a 2-point advantage.
And the setter right now for the Aggies and Ainsworth is just mixing it up, getting her right side player involved in Nash. That time with Thomas in the middle, getting all players involved. It makes it a little bit more difficult when you can spread the ball around.
Grasso tries deep left corner, and it's a bit long on the drive, so a hitting there by Bakersfield, and the Aggies have a little momentum going right now, leading 15-12 here in this opening set of this championship match. So Bakersfield trails by 3. We'll take a break, come back with more after this. You're watching the WAC Digital Network.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hey, I know that.
Well, did you know that former pro football player Icky Woods will celebrate almost anything?
44.
Woo! 44, that's me!
Get some cold cuts.
Geico.
Get some cold.
They come for one of the nation's top-rated business schools, the world-class performing arts, the advances in engineering and health science, and more than 125 leading degree programs. Their paths to success go in many directions, but they all start here, UMKC, the place for people going places.
Welcome back to Kansas City. 15-12, New Mexico State leads Bakersfield through the first 27 points of this one, and so far it's really lived up to the billing. It's been back and forth here in the first 27.
Yeah, and it's just been a late push now from New Mexico State, and so a little bit what we saw last night in their victory against UMKC is that it went back and forth early on, but then a 6-point push, a 4-point push, and for Bakersfield, you need to stop this right now. So I like, a little break in the action, see if they can side out first ball here.
Urias tries the right side. That's a bit wide. Another hitting error by Bakersfield. The lead expands to 4. Well, anytime the Aggies string together points, it can be a tough hill to try and battle back from. Martins towards the left side. Here comes Grasso, deep left corner, and it's wide. Another hitting error by Bakersfield, and they'll burn their first timeout. Trailing by 5 now, so probably a good timeout here for Mello.
Yeah, and the last one was immediate timeout, so this one just her first timeout, 17-12. 2 quick points out of that last break, so this is where you got to talk to your team. Be aggressive. You got to be aggressive against this New Mexico State team. They're not going to give you anything.
One of the things that Bakersfield early on in this set were able to do, their hitting has kind of faltered a bit lately.
Yeah, and that's goes back to first ball contact. They've been pulled off on that the last couple of times, and then I just think trying to do a little bit too much. New Mexico State has 2 team blocks, and so they've got in front of them a little bit, caused some issues, but they're also digging a lot of balls too. They're out digging Bakersfield right now in that category, 11-7. So they're not only out blocking, but they're also out digging.
Aggies were able to get here with a win last night against UMKC in straight sets. Bakersfield a straight set win against UTRGV in the first semifinal yesterday. It's Bakersfield in their 3rd consecutive WAC championship match. New Mexico State they ran the table in the regular season, trying to work their way through the tournament as well. A 5-point lead for the Aggies. Coming out of the timeout, Murphy to serve here for New Mexico State, leading by 5. That's their largest lead of the entire afternoon. Driven short to the right side, Martins goes to the left side, Grasso over the top and gets the big kill coming out of the timeout.
Much better pass, allows them to have all 3 options available on that ball. So it was a wonderful setup there. And then Grasso just driving, hitting with that quick arm.
Fleming with the serve towards the right side. Ainsworth sets it, and will have a net violation against New Mexico State.
And the last time we saw a similar play, they went over the net and got it in the way in Dunbar Low. This time a little bit more patient with Haynes up there, allowing her to have space, and then she was in the net. So a lot more patience on the Bakersfield side on that play.
Fleming serves that one up just a bit short. It's a service error. A 4-point lead for the Aggies. Substitutions for New Mexico State. Labode will come back on, as will Castellanos as well. So Labode serving for the Aggies, tried to grow this 4-point advantage here in the opening set. Struck to the right side, giving chase. Martins leaves it for Grasso over the top of the double swing. And it's off of the hand of Castellanos, and Bakersfield gets the points. Almost caught her on the back as she was sitting on the ground.
She was almost into this pull here on the sideline, pushed out, but look at her rise up and say, oh, I'm just gonna duck a little bit so no ball doesn't hit me on the way out.
Here's a serve from Urias, sliding over, it was Abalos. They'll set it in the middle, and a big swing coming from the back row to Hawaii, and New Mexico State leads by 4.
I'm not sure, there's an open net here. I'm not sure why Haynes didn't jump on the back row attack.
Aballo serving for the Aggies. Fires it down the middle of the floor. Fleming high into the air. Martins towards the right side. Haynes drives it off of the extended hands of Tuai. They go back to Thomas to the near side and just a bit wide.
Well, that was a good, important play for Bakersfield. You don't want to have the Aggies extend that lead. They had the opportunity to extend it, but now instead of 15-20, we're at 16-19. So right here, you got to drive as we're getting late in this first set.
Serve coming from Grasso, deep left corner. Aballo's there. They'll set it towards the near side. Castellanos rolls it across. Rodriguez over to Sawyer, and it's driven off the hand of Thomas for a block point. 4-point lead here for New Mexico State.
And the Aggies pick up their third team block in this match.
Sierra serving for the Aggies towards the left side. Here's Sawyer, rolls it over, and into that again for the Aggies. A 3-point lead for New Mexico State, 20-17.
I think that one's going to drop for a kill regardless of the net violation. That was good. That was deceptive from Kelsey Sawyer.
Haynes ready to serve for Bakersfield. Sierra towards the middle, dumped across by Murphy, able to dig it. Dunbar low to the near side. Set by Castellanos to the left side, and Tuai, he puts it away. This one off the hand of Martins. 21-17, New Mexico State. Aggies coming into this one against 17 consecutive wins on the season. Drives it as Ainsworth to the near side. Set by Martins. Dunbar low, fires deep middle. Aballos is there. Ainsworth sets it for Murphy. Down on the back row. Martins to the left side for Sawyer, and she drives it in.
And that's gorgeous set. And it was Dunbar low attack on that first play, and then switch it back to the outside. So then it held Gwen Murphy, the blocker of New Mexico State, just a tad that created that seam and that block, that opening that Sawyer needed to pound it through.
So Martins to serve here for Bakersfield, trailing 21-18 in this opening set. Deep left corner, Sierra there, all the way to the net, to the left side. Tuai on the attack, and a touch by Bakersfield, and the Aggies lead by 4.
It's been Tuai to lead her team in this match in that kill category. I mean, she's looked very, very solid. 5 kills to lead all players, actually, in this first set.
She will serve now for the Aggies, trying to expand this lead with the right hand. Grasso off towards her right. Martins leaves it right boundary, and Dunbar low, able to find it and drive it in.
Wow, and if you're Martins, add that one to your highlight reel. I mean, she was running out of real estate, backing up, somehow sets it up with one hand over her head. And Dunbar low, just the trust that her setter is going to be able to get her that ball, keeps following that play.
Here's the drive to the near side. Ainsworth sets it right boundary. Nash, and Nash through the double block with the point.
Head coach Mike Jordan said, you know, I think the difference might come down to Bradley Nash and her play on the right side. We're going to have to really rely on this senior to come up with some big things, and she has so far. 3 kills, hitting 500.
Here's the serve from Murphy, short to the near side. Tie was Martins. They go to Dunbar low, trying to get it in front of the back row. Unable to save it off the net was Nash, and Bakersfield takes the point.
That's what we thought from CSU Bakersfield. They just weren't going to give up. I mean, they keep fighting point for point. It was just that little run in the middle of this set that might have been the difference.
And now a whistle going against the Aggies on double contact. And just like that, Bakersfield back to within 2. And Mike Jordan wants a timeout now for New Mexico State.
And Mike Jordan said to me, he said, you know, we don't want to be in a 22-23 or 23-all. So I think he wants to stop this momentum right now that Bakersfield has on their serve and see what, and just settle them down, talk about the matchups. When you have these timeouts, it's more about this play right here. How do we get this side out? Where do we want to go? And I think it's going to be important.
23-21, and New Mexico State leads. You're watching the WAC Digital Network.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
I know that.
Well, did you know that former pro football player Ickey Woods will celebrate almost anything?
44. Woo! 24, that's me!
Get some cold cuts.
Geico.
Cuts. Get some cold.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.
Welcome back to Kansas City, where it's a 2-point advantage right now for New Mexico State late here in this first set. Bakersfield right now, though, in the midst of a 9-6 run, trying to get back into this set. Middle of the floor, Nash on the drive. Martin's there. They go back to Urias, tried to roll it across and just left it short. And a big hit there by Bakersfield, and now set point for the Aggies.
No, they had the point that they were really looking for, the opportunity in Bakersfield. But Urias going up. You want her, I think, to be aggressive on that shot. Got to mix it up, I get it, but you had an opportunity to take a heavy swing.
Driven away by Lavodi towards the left side. Here comes the attack from Grasso. Skips it right in front of Sierra. And Grasso keeps Bakersfield around, trailing by 2.
And this combination between Martins and Grasso is great. I mean, the timing of it, the trust in each other. It's really actually fun to watch.
It'll be Urias to serve here for Bakersfield. Trailing by 2. Still set point for the Aggies. Set by Lavodi. Down to the near side, and it's put away by Thomas. And New Mexico State will take the first set 25-22 here against the Roadrunners. So the Aggies able to rally, and then they win by 4 in the first set. And they lead this championship match 1-9. Impressive win here for the Aggies. We'll take a break, come back with set 2 in just a moment. You're watching the WAC Digital Network.
We strive to achieve excellence through determination and hard work.
We are committed to learning from those around us.
Our professors and peers,
Our coaches and teammates,
and our opponents.
We compete with integrity and passion.
And we seize our moment when the opportunity arises.
We take pride in our communities
and believe that we can inspire others, just as they have inspired us.
We may wear different colors, but we share the same purpose.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are
the Western Athletic Conference.
Characters should never have an energy drink.
action.
Geico.
In a fertile valley, a growing university with record enrollment and graduates serving the needs of a thriving community, a tradition of athletic excellence. Now a part of the Western Athletic Conference. CSU Bakersfield.
I am Dr. Michael Scheller. I am Associate Dean of the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology at GCU. We want students that have passion. We're looking for well-rounded students. Engineering and technology are the fastest growing fields. We have a great curriculum. All our programs are hands-on. People that come out of this program will be workforce ready.
Grand Canyon University, the quality of a private Christian education, the affordability of a state university.
Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. No matter what.
Welcome back to Kansas City, where New Mexico State takes the first set 25-22 here against the second-seeded Roadrunners of Bakersfield. And you look at this first set, and in your opinion, Joe, what do you think the biggest difference was?
I think it was Tuai on the outside. I mean, she had 5 kills, 429. thought she looked very solid for them from New Mexico State. And then on the other hand, Bakersfield, give them a lot of credit. I mean, they fought for that. They were right in it until the very end, but right in the middle of that set, when they jumped out to the 17-12 lead, I mean, Bakersfield could have went away, but you know, they kept fighting. And if you're the Aggies, I think you just say, you know, you can't give them any kind of light, any kind of daylight. They're going to come back. So I think it'll come down here to, again, pass and serve a little bit. When we saw the Aggies struggle, it was just because the first contact wasn't as clean as it has been in this tournament thus far.
Aggies will serve first to open up this second set. It'll be Ainsworth to do so. Strikes it down the right side. Martins tries to dump it across, and it's saved, though, by New Mexico State to wide. Deep left corner, and it's a bit long.
Okay, great.
Bakersfield leads to start set number 2. Aggies winning both of the regular season meetings, 1-3, 1-4. Martins inches forward, fires it deep middle. Sierra off towards her right, and right to Murphy, who drives it in.
Wonderful set from Ainsworth to push that ball in the middle. She was about at that 10-foot line, still getting the ball to her senior and Gwen Murphy, trusting that she's going to go up there and rise up to be able to attack that.
Tawai to serve here for New Mexico State. Down the right boundary, and it's just a bit long on a service error. Bakersfield back on top by 1. Sawyer rotates back to serve here for the Roadrunners. Short to the right side. Ainsworth sets it that way. Nash on the attack, and that violation, though, against the Roadrunners, and we're equal at 2.
I think they had Dunbar low in the net for Bakersfield.
See DeMarco coming on in place of Sawyer now for Bakersfield here in the second set. When Murphy, second in the WAC in hitting percentage coming in. Powers this one away. Martins towards the left side, goes to Grosso to the right boundary. And it's a kill for Bakersfield into the double block.
Everyone just pinballs through the block of the Aggies, and that's Grosso. 6 kills, hitting 273, but she has just been crafty and fun to watch for sure.
And a service error here against Fleming. Tied at 3. Substitutions for New Mexico State. Lavode will come back on, as will Castellanos. Nash comes out, as is Ainsworth. Lavode well back over the service line, ready to serve it away. Down the right side, Martins sets it middle. Haynes had it deflected by Thomas. They'll set for Thomas, and Thomas strikes it off of Haynes.
Well, Thomas is working in that rally. I mean, she was up on the block, and then not a big approach, but still just rises up 2 feet, gets off the ground, and then punches it through.
This one middle of the floor. Martin sets it left boundary. Here comes Grosso, rolls it across to the near side. Lavode goes back over towards Abalos. Dug by Fleming. Martins leaves it left side. Grosso steps back, fires it into the net in 4 touches against Bakersfield. A 2-point lead for the Aggies early on here in the second. Aggies won the first one, 25-22. Down the right side, Martins sets it near boundary. Urias drives it into the corner off of Sierra.
And Rice can be that extra element here. Wonderful push out, and she gets the ball through the line just about 3 feet away from the end line. And Urias can definitely fly out there. I think she's an added weapon that I look to get her the ball more when she's on the front row.
Abalos from the left side. The block is just inside the line. It's a block point for Bakersfield.
Well, that's their first team block of this match. It's coming at a good time, and that's Haynes. A good look at her going up strong in the middle.
Urias on the serve, down the middle and long. A service error here by the Roadrunners. Aggies reclaim a 1-point advantage. Rodriguez comes on in place of Urias now. Carvalho's the sophomore out of Arizona. Ready to serve for the Aggies. Drives it right down the middle. Martins off towards the left. Grasso approaches from the middle of the floor and gets the deflection.
Man, and that's Grasso just going up against Thomas. I mean, the height disadvantage really there from Grasso, but you got to love that attitude, thinking I can get it through regardless. 5'6", going up, showing a lot of intensity afterwards.
Pulls Bakersfield even at 6 here in this second set. Going into this, we kind of talked about it at the top of the broadcast a little bit, but these two teams, again, met in the semifinals last year. How does it help Bakersfield at all? Can you get any confidence from
Well,
that?
we heard that little tidbit from one of their assistant coaches that it was a year ago today, but I think so. I think it's more just this mental block. You know, New Mexico State has been so dominating when they have not lost a match this entire conference season. I mean, you got to use anything to your advantage.
We see Thomas put away another one here for the Aggies.
She comes out shaking her hands, and that was not clean at all, but a kill's a kill. She'll take it. She just had to kind of laugh at herself a little bit. She mishit it.
Here's Sierra from the left side, down the middle of the floor. Martins goes to the left boundary. The attack from Sawyer, driven back. They'll set it for Murphy, rolled it across. Martins there. Flaming in toward the left side, and Sawyer drives it. This one off the hand of Tawai, and Sawyer with the kill.
And I love this as Martins is blocking. She comes back and plays it, and then a secondary set. Kelsey Sawyer, who just goes right in there underneath that sharp angle with enough power to get the deflection she was looking for.
And now it'll be Haynes to serve here for Bakersfield, trying to pull her team back on top. A short serve to the right side. Sets the direction of Murphy, and it's a block for Dunbar Low.
Well, that'll get Dunbar Low going. I mean, you got a solo block against the WAC Player of the Year. Their team can use that as momentum. I don't know what else they can use. You got to stay with her at all times, and Murphy just didn't turn enough either angle on that ball.
Set by Lavoti to the near side. Tawai drives it off of Martins and out of play, and Tawai sides out. And New Mexico State equal at 8.
Bakersfield has Grasso, and New Mexico State has Tawai, just bouncy on the outside. Penn player that just went sharp or right down the line with a quick arm.
Ainsworth to serve for the Aggies. Down the middle of the floor, Martin sets it, left boundary. Here comes Sawyer, and Sawyer into the double block, but we're gonna have a violation against the Aggies for going into the net. Mike Jordan having a quick chat with the down official.
Well, let's take a look at this and see if we can see there's a net violation on the Aggies. Well, I mean, you can see the net moving, but it could have been the attack as well that led to that, but the down official right on that, and not much complaint here from the head coach of the Aggies and Mike Jordan.
Ainsworth sets it right side. Tawai on the attack through the back row. Able to save it was Grasso. They'll go to Sawyer from the left side. Sierra digs. Ainsworth right side. Tawai rolls it across. Great save by Flemian. Here comes Sawyer from the right side. Nash back to Ainsworth. They'll go to Murphy in the middle. Off of Dunbar Low, and it's Murphy to get the kill.
You know, we haven't seen too many attacks, though, from Gwen Murphy that have hit without at least a touch on the ball. So I think you're positive if you're Bakersfield and getting some positive touches. That one, they're just unable out of their outreached hand to pick that one up. Now this is where we get to that point around that 10-10 mark. You know, we're 9-9 right now, but trading back points.
Martins goes to Dunbar Low, deep left corner, and it's a bit long on the drive for Dunbar Low. No, the up official said there was a touch. And New Mexico State wants an explanation. Boy, it looked like that one was well over it, but instead we're going to have a point awarded to Bakersfield.
Let's see if we can take a look, see if there was a touch. This is a great angle of this play. As we're going to see, it's going to be Dunbar Low going up in the middle. Gwen Murphy. Yeah, and I'm not sure if there was, but perhaps it was a little bit different from the view the up official had.
Tawai fires it into the net. And now Bakersfield with back-to-back points. 11-9 and a timeout taken by New Mexico State. So the Aggies want to use their first timeout as they trail by 2 here in this second set. The Aggies lead 1-0 in this championship match, but Bakersfield with a 2-point advantage right now. Take a break, come back with more of this second set. You're watching the WAC Digital Network.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that words really can hurt you?
Jesse, don't go!
Geico.
Welcome back to Kansas City, where New Mexico State holds a 1-0 advantage, but the Roadrunners lead by 2 here in the second set. Trying to take advantage of maybe a little bit of a pendulum swing here right now with the Roadrunners with the last 2 points. Sierra back to Ainsworth. Here comes Murphy to the middle, and she sides out for the Aggies.
And she wanted the ball. All 3 blockers going up against her, but give the ball to the WAC Player of the Year in Gwen Murphy.
And you can see after Murphy recorded the kill, she turned to her teammates and started clapping and trying to pump them up.
Yeah, giving them a lot of energy back. Gotta love the senior leadership as well from Murphy.
Ball to the left side. Martins goes to Grosso, brings it back near boundary, and that one's out of play off of Abalos, and Bakersfield leads by a pair.
There's going to be a net violation as well, but I think there's some frustration as well from Grosso, who's been so dynamite tonight in the net. Sometimes when you push over, you want to try to get a touch on the ball and get a block so bad, you start to add up those net violations.
And Nash able to come back with a kill here for the Aggies, brings them to within 1.
As you look at New Mexico State, pretty well balanced. Tuai 6 kills, Nash 5 kills, Thomas 5 kills, Murphy 5 kills. I mean, so many players getting involved offensively.
Buddy serving here for the Aggies down the right side. Martins goes to the near boundary. Urias off the outstretched hands of Abalos. And Urias with the kill for the Roadrunners.
Again, I think that's that outlet you got to keep going to. That'll just open up things. That'll help Grosso out on the other pin. If you can get Urias when she's on the front row involved, she's going to subs back now to the back row to serve.
Strikes it with the right hand. Sierra forward. Bodie sets it towards the right side. Thomas angles it that way, and it's off the hand of DeMarco and out of play.
Beautiful set from Avodi, who rises up to get that ball to Thomas. Thomas staying with the ball. Bakersfield was patient not to go over to try to disrupt that, but cuts it back sharp, thumb down nicely.
Abalos serving for the Aggies, trailing by 1. Martin sets it left side. Grosso down the far boundary. Ball was redirected towards the right side. Castellanos, and it's off the hand of Haynes. We're tied at 13.
And Castellanos, you can see she's just cringing. She is a warrior. She gives it, and every time that whistle blows, I mean, she gives 110%, but you can tell she just has a couple nagging injuries that she's dealing with.
And an ace for the Aggies off the hand of Abalos. So now 3 straight here from New Mexico State.
And Abalos is standing back deep with a floater that just hangs in the air a little bit.
Ball to the left side. Rodriguez goes over to Haynes, and she drops it right down the middle.
Yeah, and I think Thomas was just fooled on that. So it was an open net, and Haynes just staying with her setter. I think Martins could just see that on peripheral. That's what makes her so good as a setter. You can see the block go to the outside pin, so she knows that her middle position, that zone, is completely open and feeds the ball there.
Grosso with a serve for Bakersfield, slides it short to the left side. They'll go back over to Hawaii, and it's off the hand of Haynes, and the Aggies go back up by 1. So back and forth we go here with the Aggies in the midst of a little bit of a run here against Bakersfield. Sierra serving down the left side. Martin's middle. Haynes able to drive it. Dug by New Mexico State. Murphy flips it near side and it's wide.
Watches a great ball, and Murphy just didn't get the timing a little bit. It was a little bit off on that play for her. Uncharacteristic error. We haven't seen her make too much.
Haynes a short serve, racing forward, ball tight to the net, and then it's tipped across by Sawyer just inside the far line, and Bakersfield with back-to-back points.
And back on top is Bakersfield. And this is an overpass, and Sawyer up, just redirects it enough. A great just court sense about Kelsey Sawyer.
So Bakersfield trying to grab the momentum back here, leading by 1 in the second set. Short to the left side. Avodi goes middle of the floor. Castellanos rolls it across. Dug by Bakersfield. Here's Sawyer to the right side. Sierra got a piece of it. New Mexico State trying to clear, they do. Set by Martins, dumps it across instead. Here comes Castellanos deep left corner. Martins back over to Sawyer, and we have an injury in the middle of the action. Castellanos is down here for the Aggies.
Oh man, and we knew that she was dealing with some pain and some injuries, but you never want to see that. And I mean, they're going to have to, head coach Mike Jordan said, you know, we're going to have to literally drag her off the floor to get her off. I mean, that's just type of the competitor she is. So you hope that she's going to be okay. I mean, take a look. She goes up to secondary, I think, to tip this ball over. I think it was in her ankle, actually. She came down on Gwen Murphy's right foot. So it might not have been of her back. I think it was just her ankle, but it might lead. She's dealing with some, I think, back pain as well.
Right now, Bakersfield with a 1-point advantage here in the second set. Aggies lead 1-0. They won the first one, 25-22. And we'll step aside right now with Bakersfield leading 16-15. You're watching the WAC Digital Network.
Huh. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that former pro football player Icky Woods will celebrate almost anything?
44. Woo! 44, that's me! Get some cold cuts.
Geico.
Cuts. Get some cold.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.
Welcome back to Kansas City, where Bakersfield leads 16-15 here in the second set. Castellanos still being attended to after being shaken up in the middle of some action that was going on. They halted play during the middle of the play as Castellanos still being attended to right now, with New Mexico State leading 1-0. Still obviously in a lot of pain right now.
Yeah, and they have not moved her from this position, and they're just taking every precautionary measure that you need, and she just wincing and trying to move, I think, her leg, and I'm not sure if they're trying to make sure that she's, you know, stable enough, as she definitely went down in some pain.
So 16-15, Bakersfield leads by 1. We'll take a break. You're watching the WAC Digital Network.
We strive to achieve excellence through determination and hard work.
We are committed to learning from those around us.
Our professors and peers,
Our coaches and teammates,
and our opponents.
We compete with integrity and passion.
And we seize our moment when the opportunity arises.
We take pride in our communities
And believe that we can inspire others.
Just as they have inspired us.
We may wear different colors, but we share the same purpose.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
we are
The Western Athletic Conference.
Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. No matter what.
Welcome back to Kansas City, where Bakersfield leads by 1 here in the second set, and Castellanos being helped off after being injured during the middle of the last play, and you have to hope that she's going to be okay after being helped off the court. Here comes Murphy down the middle of the floor, right out of the timeout to pull it equal at 16.
And a wonderful decision, I think. Just if you're going to settle your team down, if they look a little bit shaken with the injury there, that just happened, a little long delay. Give the ball to Gwen Murphy in the middle.
So tied at 16. Aggies serving now from right to left. Struck down the middle of the floor, and it's a bit long off the hand of Ainsworth. So a service error for the Aggies. And now Urias comes back on in place of Rodriguez. Serve will come from the Roadrunners. Martins strikes it deep middle. Sierra towards the net. Murphy over the top, and it's off the hand of Martins, and Murphy with a couple of kills now.
Yeah, it just follows that play. Like, you gotta love, again, back-to-back balls right to Gwen Murphy. Utilize her, she's on the front row, but Ainsworth, the freshman setter, I love how she just rises up, brings that ball back to Gwen Murphy, who follows her.
Martin sets it left side. Here comes Urias and skips it in front of the back row.
Yeah, and Urias is starting to heat up for Bakersfield. That time on the outside. She plays on that right side position, but in that rotation, that service reception, that's where they utilize her.
A 1-point advantage here for Bakersfield. Sawyer serving for the Roadrunners. Short to the right side. Ainsworth sets it. Murphy rolls it across. Sawyer there. Ball jousting at the net, and a net violation against Bakersfield, and we're tied at 18. Substitution, as we'll see DeMarco coming back on in place of Sawyer. Murphy to serve for the Aggies. It's been a very back and forth second set. Down the middle, lunging forward was Flumian, set by Martins. Urias from the right side, dug by Tawai. They go back to Thomas. Ball was deflected. Now to the right side again, another deflection. Nash retreats a couple of steps. Tawai strikes it with the right hand. Flumian low, Martins over towards Urias, and Urias with the kill for Bakersfield.
I love the decision there to back to Urias against the flow as Martins, and she looked like she was wincing. I'm not sure if it was her. She had a really bad jam finger before she came into this tournament, but look at this push back out. And Urias is so good at turning it back line. Looks like she's good, has angle, a lot of angle to work with, but somehow good towards it back through the line.
Nash trying to answer, but it's a block point for Bakersfield, and now a 2-point advantage for the Roadrunners, and a timeout taken by Mike Jordan. The Aggies burn their second timeout, trailing by 2 now here in this second set.
Wow, what a solo block from Grasso. I mean, that was incredible. She was one-on-one out there. What a time to get that team block, their third now for Bakersfield, when they did not register a block in that first set.
One of the things that the Aggies have been kind of consistent at during this match tonight is they've been very balanced offensively, and it seems that Bakersfield's kind of fallen into that area the last several points.
Yeah, they have, and I think it's when they have 3 attackers. They run a 5-1 system, so there's times, obviously, when Martin's on the front row with only 2 attackers, but then when Urias is on the front row, they have those 3 attackers. She's been doing a nice job of getting all players involved.
It's a 2-point lead for Bakersfield, trying to even this match at 1. The Aggies won the opening set, 25-22. Winner of this one advances to the NCAA tournament. Bakersfield again making their 3rd consecutive championship appearance. Aggies trying to get back there as well. Bakersfield, both of their timeouts remaining. The Aggies do not have one.
You see Castellanos on the sideline, still wincing in pain. I mean, she is really dealing with a lot of pain right now. I mean, she just is wincing.
Fleming with the serve, set by Ainsworth towards the right side. Nash cuts it line. A touch by Bakersfield, and Nash able to side out.
Well, they have that advantage out there. Grosso was able to get her that last time, but not 2 times in a row.
So a 1-point lead for Bakersfield here in the second. Serve comes from Lavodi down the middle of the floor towards the near side. Martins goes to Urias. Sierra able to dig. Lavodi sets it. Now for Abalos, deep right side. Flumian to Martins. Here comes Urias from the near boundary. Lavodi back over to Thomas. Dug by Flumian. Martins back to Urias to the near side, and it's Urias to end the rally.
And 3 straight times you go to Urias. The first 2, she takes a heavy swing. The third one, she just tips it right off the block. She shoots it off. But how about the ability for Martins, a setter, good look at her, the senior, to even get her the ball, I mean, behind her head with that level of consistency.
Bakersfield leads by a pair here against the Aggies in this second set. Urias serving for the Roadrunners. Out to the right side, backpedaling Lavodi, middle of the floor. Tawai rolls it deep middle. Martins towards the right side. Haynes, deep left corner. Able to dig at the Aggies. Back to Abalos, and it's off of the hand of Haynes, and Abalos with the kill.
And Tawai with that big-time dig on the back row off that slide attack. Haynes had a shot to point score, but then it was Abalos finally rips the kill for Aggies. Much-needed point, really, to keep this one tight.
Abalos will serve here for the Aggies, trailing by 1 towards the line on the far side. They'll set it for Grosso. Deflected at the net, chased down by Lavodi to the near side. Tawai off the double block. Back across for Bakersfield. Lavodi middle. Here's Thomas with the kill. We're tied at 21.
And Thomas has been really, really good tonight. I mean, she has 7 kills, only 1 error. So both middles for the Aggies looking on point.
A timeout for Bakersfield. New Mexico State right now in the midst of a 3-1 run. And even though it doesn't sound like a lot, you gotta feel the pendulum swinging back in favor of the Aggies a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's because they're coming up with some key digs on the back row, just prolonging that rally. And then I think they're finding that they're having a ton of success with their middle blockers. I mentioned that Thomas has 7 kills, hitting 600. And then Gwen Murphy, the WAC Player of the Year, 7 kills of her own. So 2 players, that sits atop for the Aggies. You also had Tawai, who's had the hot hand. She's on the back row right now, but 7 kills of her own.
Tied at 21 here in the second set. See a mixture of fans enjoying the action today. The Aggies have a good cluster across from where we're located. Bakersfield with a contingent of some fans as well. For some other teams, you see UTRGV over in the stands, kind of taking in all of the festivities of this championship match. And Utah Valley there as well.
And we talked about UTRGV. I mean, had an impressive showing. They upended Utah Valley in 3 straight sets. They lost last night in 3 sets to Bakersfield, but I think they have a really bright future ahead of them.
No doubt about that. 1 timeout remaining for the Roadrunners. Aggies will be serving. It's Abalos to do so. DeMarco over to Grosso, and DeMarco's just going to have to free ball it across. It'll be set by Lavodi towards the right side, and a big swing from Toe. Ball was deflected back. Rolled across. Martins goes back to Haynes to the near side. Sierra lunges forward, and it just falls in front of her. Good placement there by Haynes. Bakersfield by 1. So Grosso preparing to serve for the Roadrunners here in the second set. Towards the far line, ball set to the near boundary. Tawai comes over the top and skips it off of Grosso. Tied at 22. So back and forth we go here in the second. Sierra towards the right side. Martins will set it near boundary. Driven back by New Mexico State. And then Murphy goes deep left corner and gets it in.
How about it? I mean, a beautiful dig back there from Sierra. Just stuck on that. And then Gwen Murphy just driving and working in transition. What a time to come up with the biggest kill of the match.
All knuckles towards the near side. Martins gives chase. They'll go back to Sawyer from the left side. Dug by Sierra. Set by Lavoni. Murphy a second time in a row. And the Aggies now have set point. And Bakersfield wins a timeout. 24-22. New Mexico State now has set point. Well, you see the Aggies, when they get on the roll, things can change quickly.
Yeah, and I think you also, you give credit to Sierra, the libero, who in back-to-back points had wonderful digs to be able to even run Murphy in the middle in transition.
We'll take a quick break, come back with the conclusion of set 2 in just a moment. You're watching the WAC Digital Network.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that words really can hurt you?
Jesse, don't go!
Geico.
Jesse?
(24-22), New Mexico State leads by 2 here in the second set. They have set point in the midst of a 6-2 run. Driven away by Sierra towards the middle of the floor. Martins goes to Sawyer, strikes it off of Sierra, and Sawyer keeps Bakersfield alive.
And a small adjustment, but I think this was key here. They brought the set in a little bit of a different zone. Traditionally, you've seen a faster ball, tip a ball out to the pin. They moved it in just enough so she had a big enough angle open for her that she just rips it through.
Haynes with a short serve sliding forward. Lavoni sets it middle of the floor, and it's Murphy. Pounds it through the back row, and New Mexico State leads 2-0. They win the second 25-23. And when you need the point to close it out, you got to go to Murphy.
Yeah, and they had to be in system, so it was a solid first contact, and then Gwen Murphy. I mean, you got to give her the ball. I mean, even if you're going to be pushed off the net, the first player in this match to register double-digit in that kill category, picking up her 10th tonight.
So the Aggies able to close it out and win by 2 here in this second set. They won the first one 25-22. Winning set 2, 25-23. And Megan McDonald is standing by with New Mexico State head coach Mike Jordan.
Thanks, guys. Coach, 4 players with 5+ kills. How has spreading your offense worked for you tonight?
Well, it's worked all year really well. It's what we do. We're going to continue to do that, obviously. It's a big deal for us. Obviously, we're going to have to find a way to get some offense with Natalie out now, but I think Casey or Todd will come in and do a good job.
You guys are up 2-0. How do you contain Bakersfield from coming back?
Well, I'm not really happy with the way we're playing. You know, we're playing slow and we're a little bit careful. We made some errors, and I think that made us a little bit more cautious. You know, there's little jitters going on kind of thing. We got to just loosen it up and start playing hard, and the way we're capable of, we'll be fine.
Thanks, Coach. Back to you guys.
All right, 25-23, New Mexico State winners here in this second set. They lead 2-0 in this championship match against the Roadrunners. We'll take a break, come back with the third set in just a bit. You're watching the WAC Digital Network.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.
People talk about college like you're in some kind of bubble. Like there's college and then there's the real world. Hey, this is UVU. You're not just reading about it or watching someone else do it. This is engaged learning. At the certificate, associate's, bachelor's, or master's level, you're in the real world every day.
In a fertile valley, a growing university with record enrollment and graduates serving the needs of a thriving community, a tradition of athletic excellence. Now a part of the Western Athletic Conference. CSU Bakersfield.
They come for one of the nation's top-rated business schools, the world-class performing arts, the advances in engineering and health science, and more than 125 leading degree programs. Their paths to success go in many directions, but they all start here, UMKC, the place for people going places.
I am Dr. Michael Scheller. I am Associate Dean of the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology at GCU. We want students that have passion. We're looking for well-rounded students. Engineering and technology are the fastest growing fields. We have a great curriculum. All our programs are hands-on. People that come out of this program will be workforce ready.
Grand Canyon University, the quality of a private Christian education, the affordability of a state university.
Welcome back to Kansas City, where New Mexico State leads it 2-0 here against Bakersfield in this championship match. They won the first one 25-22, 25-23. And Joe, take a look at some of these first half stats.
Yeah, and much what you expect from a team up 2-0 in Mexico State. They're winning many of these categories. You look at hitting percentage, 338 for them as a team. That's pretty stellar. They're out digging Bakersfield as well. And blocks all knotted up a piece, and then with more kills, you're going to have more assists as well. And if you're the Aggies, you're pleased with their versatility. As head coach Mike Jordan said, we've been pretty balanced all year, so you're used to that. That's kind of a strength of running that 6-2 system. They have 4 players with 5 or more kills. And then how about Gwen Murphy, who had 8 of her 10 kills in that second set alone, especially when Castellanos, a player that you rely heavily on with her offensive duties, and she went out injured midway through that second set.
You see the age-old adage in sport, those key star players, they come forward at the times their teams need them the most, and Murphy was right there.
Yeah, and she really was looking forward to it. I mean, she was almost like everyone in the gym knew, and she wanted the ball, and I think that's the confidence that she has. The WAC Player of the Year looking at really outstanding.
Take a look at some of the first half highlights here for the Aggies, and one of those players that was big was Tawai.
Yeah, and Tawai, 8 kills, 3 airs hitting 294, but she was doing it all over the floor. That really back row attack, and also just a quick arm through this seam. I mean, she's quick off the floor with her jumping ability and also her energy. I mean, she has been that player where I feel like at times the timing of what she made some plays, I think, were critical for New Mexico State.
The Aggies lead 2-0 here against Bakersfield in this championship match. Back with set 3 in just a bit. You're watching the WAC Digital Network.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.
People talk about college like you're in some kind of bubble. Like there's college, and then there's the real world. Hey, this is UVU. You're not just reading about it or watching someone else do it. This is engaged learning. At the certificate, associate's, bachelor's, or master's level, you're in the real world every day.
In a fertile valley, a growing university with record enrollment and graduates serving the needs of a thriving community, a tradition of athletic excellence. Now a part of the Western Athletic Conference. CSU Bakersfield.
They come for one of the nation's top-rated business schools, the world-class performing arts, the advances in engineering and health science, and more than 125 leading degree programs. Their paths to success go in many directions, but they all start here, UMKC, the place for people going places.
I am Dr. Michael Scheller. I am Associate Dean of the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology at GCU. We want students that have passion. We're looking for well-rounded students. Engineering and technology are the fastest growing fields. We have a great curriculum. All our programs are hands-on. People that come out of this program will be workforce ready.
Grand Canyon University, the quality of a private Christian education, the affordability of a state university.
Welcome back to Kansas City, where New Mexico State leads 2-0 in this WAC championship matchup. One set away from advancing to the NCAA tournament. We'll take a break, come back with the third set after this. You're watching the WAC Digital Network.
We strive to achieve excellence through determination and hard work.
We are committed to winning from those around us.
Our professors and peers,
our coaches and teammates,
and our opponents.
We compete with integrity and passion.
And we seize our moment when the opportunity arises.
We take pride in our communities
and believe that we can inspire others,
just as they have inspired us.
We may wear different colors, but we share the same purpose.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are
the Western Athletic Conference.
Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. No matter what.
New Mexico State leads it 2-0 here against the number 2 seed in Bakersfield. Aggies onto the floor to begin this third set. Looking forward to the conclusion of this match anyways. What are you doing if you're Bakersfield?
Well, I think you're positive still. I mean, you had a chance to take really the first set, and then the second one, I mean, they really had their hands on that one. It just kind of slipped away. So there's a ton of positivity that you can take, and just the way that you've worked all year is just consistent, constant energy, effort. You can see head coach Giovanna Mello right there talking to Haynes, one of the middles, and I think just in constant encouragement is something that she relies and emphasizes so much, is her relationship with her players, and you can see that in the way they play.
Rodriguez serving first here for Bakersfield, drives it left side, Ainsworth, back over to Nash, deep middle, and a good save attempt from Rodriguez, and the ball was just a bit low, and New Mexico State takes the first point.
Wonderful start for Nash. 7 kills, hitting .455. So she's kind of had not a quiet afternoon, but I mean, that's a pretty solid number right there.
Tawai serving here, and this one just a bit long. Boy, didn't miss by much, but it is out, and Bakersfield even at 1. Fleming will serve here for the Roadrunners. Trailing 2-0 in this championship. All the way to the deep left corner. Sierra Abalos fires wide. A hit in air against the Aggies.
Great serve from Fleming there, the libero for Bakersfield, and making Abalos work on that, not only in service reception, but also on the attack, which led to an error.
A short serve by Fleming this time. Ainsworth will set it towards the middle. Murphy is there through the double block, and Murphy drives it in.
Picking up right where she left off in that second set. She was actually carrying her Aggies team. 8 kills in that second set alone. How about getting started quick in this third set with her first one of this third set?
Here's the serve by Murphy down the middle of the floor. Martins, here comes the attack from Haynes and rolls it over the top. And Haynes just inside the back row.
Perhaps head coach Giovanna Mello is talking to Haynes, just trying to encourage her. I know it's a tall task when you're up there and you have the duties of 2 tremendous middles in your opponents with Thomas and Murphy, but trying to pump her up, saying, you know, you're a really solid player yourself.
They'll go to Thomas's side, and Thomas just inside the near boundary as she cut it back across the floor. Tied at 3 now here in this third set.
And you think when Gwen Murphy goes to the back row, maybe we'll have a middle that's a little bit easier to defend. That has not been the case, as Thomas, I think 636, picks up her 8th kill.
Ability to serve here for the Aggies. Forward, fires the ball with the right hand. Rodriguez back to the left side. Grasso over the top, dug by Sierra, set by Lavodi. Middle attack coming to Hawaii. Towards the back row, Martin's got a hand on it, dumped across, and it's deflected back by Abalos, and it's a block point.
And that was a rocketed shot that Sierra was just lined up perfectly to handle that. The rally goes on. And you take a look at this, is just, bam, look at that. That was textbook. Ball up, back row attack, picks it up. And then Abalos just hangs in the air and sends it back over.
And now trying to put it away was Thomas, does so in the middle of the floor. So a couple of points strung together by the Aggies. Now they lead by a pair. Bodie continues to serve here for New Mexico State. 3 consecutive points now for the Aggies. Martins to the left side. Grasso drives it off of the double block. Tome got a hand on it. It went wide, and it's a kill for Grasso.
Yeah, and Tome is in there because Castellanos is out with an injury, who was their starter. So we'll see if that will have any big implications for the Aggies, as they're going to miss her offensive weapon.
Here's a serve by Grasso as she strikes it into the net, though, as Sawyer comes back into the front row. 6-4, Aggies by a pair, leading 2-0 in this WAC championship. Abalos to serve for the Aggies. Fleming turns it to the right side. Played across by Grasso, middle of the floor. They'll go back to Thomas to the near side. It's off the hands of Haynes. And Thomas with yet another kill in the set, and a timeout taken here by the Roadrunners early on in this third set. 7-4, New Mexico State leads. Take a quick break, come back with more of the third set in just a bit. You're watching the WAC Digital Network.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hey, I know that.
Well, did you know that former pro football player Icky Woods will celebrate almost anything?
44. Woo! 44, that's me! Get some cold cuts.
Geico.
Cuts. Get some cold.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.
New Mexico State leads 2-0 here in the WAC championship match. They're also up 7-4 in this third set. And a timeout taken by Giovanna Mello, the head coach for Bakersfield, burning their first after the Aggies right now in the midst of a 4-1 run. Balos continues to serve for the Aggies, flipping into the near side. Martins leaves it for Sawyer. Tried to tip it with the left hand. It was deflected by Tome. Sawyer back across, and a net violation against the Aggies.
And they got bailed out a little bit on that one, but they'll take it regardless. Didn't want the Aggies to get another point underneath their belt right there. It was a good end to that little run, mini run they had.
Serve coming from Haynes now to the near side. Lavodi goes to the far boundary. The attack will come and whistled home by Tawahi down the left side.
Yeah, Tawahi is just having a good time tonight. I mean, all tournament long. She was impressive last night and again tonight, and it's just her speed of what she can swing. I mean, she has a fast arm swing coming out there on the pin.
Serve short to the near side, and it's an ace for the Aggies on a brilliant serve off the hand of Sierra. A 4-point lead right now for New Mexico State. Sierra's second serve. Down the middle of the floor, Martins towards the left side. Sawyer trying to cut the angle on it. Off the hands of the lunging Sierra, and Sawyer sides out with a kill.
And Sawyer was a little bit quiet in that second set, but good news, she's getting going early in this third. Right when her team needs her, and both outside hitters for Bakersfield, which we expected, leading their team in kills at 9 apiece in Sawyer and Grasso.
3-point advantage right now for the Aggies, 9-6. Martin serving here for Bakersfield. Holds it deep left corner. Sierra there, an overpass. Sawyer with another kill, though, for the Roadrunners. This one off of Abalos.
Yeah, and that was that serve, that difficult serve from Martins that set that one up. And Sawyer just, I mean, that's like a present if you're on that front row and you can have an overpass like that.
2-point lead for the Aggies. Bakersfield with back-to-back points. Martins down the middle, ranging back a couple of steps. Lavodi now to Tome, who comes to the left side, and she gets a kill here for the Aggies.
That was one of the questions I had. It was how are they going to deal with Castellanos out, but a wonderful swing from Tome. You can see where she's going to be. I mean, she is a fantastic player, but don't miss a beat at all right now.
Tome's first kill of the day, sides out for the Aggies. They lead by 3. Ainsworth serving for New Mexico State. Set by Martins. Urias from the left side. Ball was deflected. Back to Nash. Martins able to dig. Fleming sets Urias from the right side. Ball deflected at the net. Sawyer was able to keep it, but a net violation against Bakersfield, and the lead expands to 4. Ainsworth serving for New Mexico State. Good serve, Martins, left side Sawyer, fires it deep right corner and it's wide.
You can hear the sense the Aggies are serving a little bit more aggressive in this third set, causing some issues for Bakersfield on that first contact.
So a timeout taken here by Bakersfield, with New Mexico State leading 12-7 in set 3. The Aggies also up 2-0. We'll step aside. You're watching the WAC Digital Network.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more in car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that former pro football player Icky Woods will celebrate almost anything?
44. Woo! 44, that's me! Get some cold cuts.
Geico.
Cuts. Get some cold.
They come for one of the nation's top-rated business schools, the world-class performing arts, the advances in engineering and health science, and more than 125 leading degree programs. Their paths to success go in many directions, but they all start here, UMKC, the place for people going places.
Welcome back to Kansas City, where New Mexico State enjoying a 2-0 advantage here against the Roadrunners. They also lead by 5 here in the third. Aggies continue to serve. Bakersfield has expended both of their timeouts here in this third set. Ainsworth ready to serve it away once again. Strikes it deep right side. Flemian over to Martins, middle of the floor. Sawyer tries to dump it short to the far boundary. Retrieved by New Mexico State. Back over to Urias, deep right corner, and Urias a well-placed kill.
That was wonderful. And then there was a solid first ball contact as well from Flemian, although they didn't pick up the kill on that first attack, but another chance at it. And this is Urias with just right over. You could see Sierra, the libero for New Mexico State, up in the court, so she went right over her head.
Set by Ainsworth. Murphy to the near side over the shoulder of Sawyer. And Murphy, easy pickings there, and she pounds another one in. Saw the corner vacant, was able to pop one in. 13-8, Aggies lead. Hawaii serving for New Mexico State. Rodriguez, Flemian from the left side. Grasso into the antenna. Was it on the attack? It was. So it's a hit in there against Bakersfield.
Ooh, I thought that might have went off hands to the antenna. I'm going to take a look at that.
The attack came from the left side.
Such a bang-bang play, especially when you have the arm speed of Grasso going up. But take a look at this secondary set, and then it looked like hand and then antenna to me. It was just such a quick play.
So the down official speaking with the up official right now. If it stands, it would be 14-8 in favor of New Mexico State. Let's take another look at it.
Let's see, the question is, does it go off the hand before it hits the antenna or the antenna first? It's arm swing hand. Man.
Great camera work there from the crew here today. That one tight to the near side. The down official giving an explanation now to Mike Jordan.
Yeah, and I think it went off the hand. I think this is a good overturn, actually.
It looked like it hit the hand of Nash.
First,
right.
Yes. And then, but it was so quick because of the pace. Let's see here. Let's take another look. I love this slow-mo, another angle. How impressive is this? But every angle covered. Hand.
From that angle, I'm not sure now.
I think it was hand, though, still. I like the overturn.
Grasso has this one blocked by New Mexico State, so the Aggies get another point. Mike Jordan still working the down official about that one.
Well, you know, good thing for him, his team has been so consistent, and he hasn't let, you know, that didn't let that play, you know, really kind of implode on them and back up point to point. It was a nice side out.
Urias towards the right side. Ball will be set by Ainsworth. Here comes Abalos, and Abalos through the double block.
And now this is going to be dangerous territory right now as we have a 6-point lead. This is a tip. It was a nice pickup there from Nash, just coming around. And then in transition, Abalos with a heavy swing.
Backing up a couple of steps, Rodriguez. They'll go middle for Haynes. Ball is dug. It's set by Tawai to the near side. Double contact called against New Mexico State.
Yeah,
it's a 5-point lead for the Aggies.
And a good call. I think that didn't come cleanly out of her hands. You're not going to have an argument there from Coach Mike Jordan.
Urias to serve here for the Roadrunners, trailing by 5. Trying to find a way to spark her team here in this third set. Turn to the near side, giving chase. Now Nash off the double block. Martin's able to keep it alive. Rodriguez to Grasso, catches the top him, and it rolled across. Tawai back over to Nash, drives it deep middle. Flemian there. Dumped across by Haynes. Sierra got a hand on it. Here comes Abalos from the right side, and a net violation against Bakersfield.
Yeah, and I think there was. I think it was Haynes actually in the net, but longest rally we've had in a while. Both teams just playing pretty scrappy.
A 6-point lead for the Aggies of New Mexico State here in the third. They lead 2-0 in this WAC championship match. Bodie to serve towards the deep right side. Set by Martins, goes to Grasso, fires it wide to the left boundary, and a hit in there by Bakersfield.
It's been on the Bodie serve a couple times in this match where they've went on a couple nice point couple-point run, so she's a deep server. A little jump float. It's caused some issues, not necessarily aces, but it caused some service reception issues.
Here's Grosso from the left side, Doug on the back row. Lavoni over to Abalos, attacks deep right corner, and it's in. Again, a little bit of a complaint from the Bakersfield side. A yellow has been issued.
I can understand the argument, I guess, is all I'm gonna say. That one looked a little bit wide and out to me from that angle, but you know, it's a fast play, so you know, you never want to fault a line official, but we'll take another look at this and see it from a different angle. Yeah, I think that one's, the white line is the line, so I'm not sure that it caught that, any part of that. So you can see why they're right on this, all the coaching staff and the sidelines.
Yeah, it was right in front of Bakersfield bench, so it's a tough angle to. Now the up official wants to speak to Martins, who's the captain here. 8-point advantage right now for New Mexico State.
Take one more look, as there's now been a couple plays where I think both head coaches think it went the other way, but this is the argument of, is this ball is in or out? Yeah, I think that one hit the blue line, not necessarily the white line where that is the line, but what a great response from the senior.
As Martins dumps it across, Bakersfield to within 7. Sawyer off of the bench, replacing Rodriguez.
She says, Coach, I got you on this. I'll get the ball back for us. And Martins hasn't used that dump too much, but you know, one of the biggest praises I think is Giovanna Mello was an outstanding setter herself in college. The head coach for Bakersfield takes a lot of pride in training her setters, and one of the best in the WAC, Martins.
Tome to the deep left side gets the kill for the Aggies. It's now an 8-point advantage for New Mexico State, 19-11.
Well, Tome's been impressive. I mean, coming off the bench, 2 kills.
Abalos with the serve and an ace as it drops off of Flemian's hand. And it's a 20-11 advantage here for New Mexico State. Aggies lead 2-0 here against Bakersfield in this championship match. Driven to the near side, Flemian steps forward. Martins towards the right boundary. Haynes on the attack. Sierra back to the right side. Tome, deep left corner. Dug by Grosso, set by Martins. Haynes in the middle. Dug nicely by the Aggies. Tawai deep middle. Dug by Grosso. They set for Sawyer. Right side and wide. A net violation, however, against New Mexico State.
Yeah, and that was a good call. There was a net violation. I think it was Thomas that got that on her way down.
So it's an 8-point advantage here for the Aggies. Haynes towards the left side, giving chase and an ace, though, as Lavoni can't come up with it. So a pair of points back-to-back here for the Roadrunners. They're within 7.
Been going after Abalos quite a bit in service reception, and this is Haynes going back to serve. The middle blocker picking up that last ace.
Again, this time Sierra. They leave it for Abalos, deep left side, and it's long. A hit in there against the Aggies. 3 consecutive points and a timeout taken by New Mexico State as Bakersfield trying to scrap their way back into it. They're down by 6. 20-14, New Mexico State burning their first timeout, and we kind of seen this through this tournament, I feel, with Bakersfield. We had it a little bit in the first set today where New Mexico State kind of had a little bit of a gap, and they just keep clawing.
Yeah, they clawed their way back in that first set when New Mexico State was up 17-12. So comparable, gap here a little bit later in this set, and also getting closer to the end of this match if New Mexico State was able to run away with this one. So I think I like this timeout from head coach Mike Jordan and just settle down his Aggies team. And, a couple, there was an ace there, and then there was a hitting error back-to-back. So you just don't want this momentum to continue. So you want to stop it and talk to your team, settle them down a little bit. We had that injury to Castellanos. A good look at her right there. Still, you can tell, in tremendous pain, but her team had responded, and a lot of that had to do with Gwen Murphy in that second set, but they've responded really well at intermission, looking solid in this third set. But you don't want it to let Bakersfield give them a glimmer of hope, because they can really run with it. They're a team that feeds off that energy and constant effort from CSU Bakersfield.
So Haynes prepares to serve for the Roadrunners coming out of the timeout. They've strung together 3 consecutive points here against the Aggies. Towards the left side, ball will be set by Lavodi. Here comes Tawai, deep right corner, and Tawai, Johnny on the spot with another kill.
And I mentioned the timing of what she comes up with some big plays. It seems like it's Tawai to bail him out, or with a big time swing, either in transition, that time inside out to lead her team, using a deep third of the court.
Sierra with a serve, backing up once was the attack now from the right side from Dunbar Low. Sierra sets it left side. Tawai goes towards the line. And the up official says it is wide on the attack.
And she smiles, actually. She thought she had that one going down the line, turning it. Last time she went cross court, decided to switch it up. Not as much real estate if you're line to line as you do when you hit cross court from the opposite side.
So Martins with her team trailing by 6 here in the third set. Deep on the serve, though. It's a service error. And now New Mexico State 3 points away. Nash comes back on, as does Ainsworth. It'll be Ainsworth to serve here for the Aggies. Waits to send it away. Does so towards the right side. Sawyer, Martin, Sawyer middle, right side, dug nicely by Sierra. Ainsworth sets it, and boy, Tawai tried to cut the angle on it, and I'm kind of glad she hit the net, because that was coming our way.
That was coming right over to us with some power too. And Bakersfield will take this one. You can see the bench still being great teammates and trying to help their teammates on from the sideline, get words of encouragement.
Here's Murphy, middle of the floor. Ball was deflected. Ainsworth goes to the left side. Nash down the line, and Nash with the kill.
Bradley Nash, one of those seniors, had a tremendous career at New Mexico State, using the hands. Good look at 2 wonderful seniors in both Murphy and Nash.
Here's the serve from Tawai to the near side, turned all the way across the floor. Martins will give chase, tight to the net. Urias into the antenna, though, and New Mexico State has match point, 24-16. The Aggies on the doorstep of the NCAA tournament. The Aggie fans across the way are on their feet. Here's the serve, Tawai. Set by Martins to the right side. Urias and a block point, and New Mexico State has done it. Undefeated in the regular season through conference play, and they claim a conference tournament title. 25-16, they're winners here today.
And Urias going up in the solo block from Abala, so that one just feels good. I mean, you know that your team just won the tournament. You're going on to the NCAA tournament, a tremendous season alone, but also conference run. I mean, they cleaned the tables, and the Aggies just looking so solid and steady.
An impressive feat for New Mexico State, because we all know how difficult it is for a team to have all of the bullseyes on them throughout the regular season, and then also coming in to the conference tournament, and they were able to withstand everything.
Yeah, a lot of pressure, but man, they have just been so steady. And it's been a couple of sets. It was a difference in 3-4 point runs that they were able to, but nobody else had a run on them, it seemed like. They were just consistent. So many offensive weapons on their side, but tip your hats off to CSU Bakersfield, and both the senior and Martins, and then also Kelsey Sawyer. I mean, they made it to the NCAA tournament last year, back in the finals of the WAC tournament. I mean, definitely nothing. You got to tip your hat off to them, and also the energy and effort that they put out. I mean, they continue to bring it.
When a great show of sportsmanship from Mike Jordan. He goes over to Bakersfield huddle and got a hug with Martins and with Sawyer. Just a great sign of respect because he knows how talented they are.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've done so much for their team and in their career. You know, at CSU Bakersfield, I mean, a team that was able to upend them last year in Bakersfield over New Mexico State. I mean, it was pretty sweet revenge right now for the Aggies. You see a lot of joy and jubilation on their side. Sierra, the libero, I thought came up with a key timely blocks throughout that match. A couple hard-driven balls.
New Mexico State won the regular season. They win the WAC championship tournament here today in straight sets against Bakersfield. 18 consecutive wins. Now for the Aggies, they haven't lost since September 19th.
Yeah, I mean, that was a long time ago, too. I mean, that, and that wasn't to a bad team either. I mean, that was one of the top teams in the country in Texas. So, again, I will mention it. I think that the Aggies will go into the NCAA tournament. I think that they have a really solid chance to surprise some teams. I mean, I don't think you want to see New Mexico State in your quad. I know their RPI isn't as high, unfortunately, because they didn't pull out one of those preseason wins. They were able to run the table in the WAC. But I think that they are a solid team. They're well balanced. You hope to see Castellanos back. You hope that she can come back, but you know, you just don't know. She looks like she's in quite a bit of pain, but I think that they still have some other players that can come in and be very solid for them. I like their play right now.
Let's go over to Megan McDonald. She's standing by with the winning head coach, Mike Jordan.
Thanks, guys. Coach, a tight second set, losing Natalie Castellanos. How'd you like your team's response in the third set?
Well, at the very end, I was really happy with the way we played it. We served the ball a little bit tougher finally, but up to that point, I wasn't very happy at all, obviously. You know, but losing now was a big blow to us. But we've got capable players coming off the bench, and Casey Tome did a really nice job.
Returning to NCAAs after not going last year, so much senior talent this year. Is this your run? Is this your time?
I hope so. You know, I think this is a team, if healthy, that we can get deeper in the tournament. And I hold it over their heads all the time. I wear the 08 ring because they won an NCAA tournament game, and they're determined to get it done. I think they will.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck. Back to you guys.
All right, New Mexico State, again, winners of the regular season, winners of the conference tournament. They win in straight sets today. And you heard Coach Jordan talk about, you know, that he wasn't pleased with his team's performance up until that time. But, you know, the expectations are high there, and they were able to answer and come back with a really strong third set.
Well, it's such a rich volleyball culture and tradition at New Mexico State. I think you have really high standards, but, you know, I think he was happy. I think he was just more pleased at how they played in that third set.
Megan McDonald standing by with senior Gwen Murphy, a winner today.
Thanks, guys. Gwen, you just won the WAC championship. How does it feel?
It feels amazing. It's overwhelming, to say the least. To go undefeated throughout conferences, I can't even describe the emotions I'm feeling right now. I'm flooded with emotions about Natalie being hurt, and I'm flooded with emotions about winning. I'm so proud of my team right now. I want to leave this interview and go be with them.
1 second. You're a senior. There's so much senior talent on your team. How can you make this run happen and keep this dream alive?
I think we just need to work hard and keep doing what we're doing. We're on an upward path right now, and we just need to keep balling out whenever we get on that court and trusting each other.
Thanks. Go celebrate with the team.
Okay, thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, New Mexico State winning the conference tournament here today, and boy, you can see just how excited their team is, and they know they have a chance to do something here in the NCAA tournament now.
Yeah, and you could also see, just to tell from your senior leader in Gwen Murphy, how much she just loves her teammates. I mean, I really do think there's a great synergy and team chemistry with this Aggie squad, and you really do. You're proud of this representative that the WAC is going to send to the NCAA tournament. Again, I do think that they can make a run. I think they can surprise some teams.
They are announcing the all-tournament team. Shamadan making it from Seattle University. Mitrovic from UTRGV coming over to accept her award as well.
Yeah, Mitrovic was so good, averaging over to almost nearly 7 kills a set. I mean, she was incredible.
Louisa Martins from Bakersfield has just been announced as part of the all-tournament team.
The outside hitter, Kelsey Sawyer.
Kelsey Sawyer as well, no surprise there.
And from New Mexico State, the outside hitter, Andrea Tomai.
Hawaii able to claim an award as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, the most valuable player in the 2015 WAC tournament from New Mexico State University, senior middle blocker, Gwen Murphy.
And Murphy adds to her, hardware this season.
Just add another one. Well, very deserving.
Absolutely.
I mean, and Gwen Murphy. And again, I mentioned a true All-American. I think she'll receive that honor later as well. And then also, I think, you know, just incredible. The WAC Player of the Year. And congratulations to New Mexico State and their entire team.
So the Aggies, the 2015 regular season champions, and they claim another WAC championship. They'll move on to the NCAA tournament. Had a fine run here in this one. They knocked off the Roos last night in straight sets. They knock off Bakersfield in straight sets here today. They advance into the NCAA tournament. And again, both Hawaii and Murphy earning all tournament team nominations, as they were very impressive once again here this afternoon.
And think about that, they didn't even drop a set. I mean, I know they were pushed, especially I think that you looked at that second set where that was key. They won 25-23. The first set was 25-22 as well. But last night, I mean, I think they beat UMKC pretty handily. So 3 straight sets, and then tonight 3 sets alone. So they definitely have some momentum on their side going into the NCAA tournament and having not lost a match in almost over 2 months.
Then you look at Bakersfield. Their season comes to a close here tonight. They'll finish 13-15 on the season, but again, 3 consecutive years making it to the conference championship.
I think that's great things for their program, and the second-year coach and Giovanna Mello is doing a fantastic job. I can see them continuing to rise as well. So bright future for so many teams in the WAC.
Final thought for New Mexico State here tonight.
You know, good luck. I really am going to be keying on them and watching them and see what kind of pod they're going to get into. And, you know, it'll be interesting. I think they have a tremendous ability to make it past the first round and surprise, really, you know, in the first 2 rounds and see where they can go. They have the talent. They have the balance offensively, and they have one of the best middle blockers in the country in Gwen Murphy.
So New Mexico State, winners of the 2015 WAC championships, they advance to the NCAA tournament with a straight set win against Bakersfield. They didn't drop a set all tournament long. They have won 18 consecutive matches as they advance to the NCAA tournament. On behalf of our entire crew, did an excellent job this weekend here in Kansas City. New Mexico State champs, thanks for joining us on the WAC Digital Network.